Hey everybody, it's Alex and Don from the Overweight Operator Series here at Top Guns in Terre Haute, Indiana. Don, what is the major issue we're going to cover today?
Carrying a spare magazine.
So what are some issues that you have with carrying a spare magazine?
Honestly, the biggest problem I have is pure comfort. I haven't found a spot on my body that feels comfortably carrying a mag all day.
So I brought a couple different options with us today to try out with two major criteria. One is going to be speed and the second one is going to be comfort.
All right, well, let's see what you have.
Let's check it out.
All right, so when you were talking earlier, you said you had a couple different options for carrying a spare magazine. Now I see we have the Advantage Vertical Kydex, which is pretty much a standard, one of our best sellers. So this option's not something that works for you?
So it doesn't work for me, and the reason being is because I'm really built with a lot of side fat, all right? So this actually pokes into me if I try to carry it, all right? So I brought a couple different options, okay? One being the horizontal rig by Sticky Holsters, okay? This actually fits on your belt, really easy access, but at the same time, it doesn't poke up into my side. It's on the same plane as your belt, all right? The best option I've found so far is actually made by Neomag, all right? So this is a magnetic holder. It kind of fits in your pocket like a knife. Easy access, easy to draw, which you'll see here in a couple tests that we're going to do.
All right, well, let's gear up and try them.
All right. All right, so I want to talk a little bit about the gear I'm using before we start testing. So I'm using an IWB made by G-Code. I'm going to have my HK VP9 on this test. Using Federal 115 grain, just the regular target rounds. And then for the first test, we're going to use these sticky belt sliders, okay? Guys, this is super affordable. You get two of these in a package and they're $9.95. But I also want to show you how easy they are to use and install, okay? I actually am using a Blue Alpha Gear belt. I think it's their EDC belt and I really do like it. But I want to show you. So there's two sides to this belt slider. One side goes to your belt and the other side goes to your magazine, all right? So you just put that in there, you slide it down, you tighten your belt down. Then the second part is you put your magazine in. You find that second hole, put it in there, slide it to the rear, you're ready to go. Pretty easy to install. So let's start with a new test. With the belt sliders, we're going to do a quick little mag change. Shoot a couple rounds, mag change, and see how it goes.
Okay, so I've been running around with the sticky belt slider for a little while, and I tell you what, it is much more comfortable than I thought it was going to be. I'm carrying it in a forward position, just above my left pocket, and again, it just kind of sits right across the horizontal of my belt here. It feels fantastic. Sitting, standing, walking, I don't even really notice there. So what I want to do now is I want to go ahead and do a couple drills where I draw, do a mag reload, just kind of see how well it presents and how fast I can get it out. I don't know how much of that you could see, but that was not the easiest thing to get out. The problem I was having is when I went to draw the magazine holder, the belt slide holster kind of came around with my belt until it caught a belt loop. Now, if I'd had this moved all the way over to the point where it's already catching on a belt loop, I think it'll come out just fine, but with the positioning I had, it allowed the mag holder to slide all the way around until it got to the point where it hung up and then it came out. So not the fastest that we've tried so far, probably one of the most comfortable for sure. So what I've done now is originally I was carrying it forward, so I've moved it around to the side where it actually stops and catches on a belt loop now. So when I go to draw, it should just come right out instead of having to pull the entire belt slide around with it. So I'm going to do it again and we'll see how this works. Absolutely, much faster. Didn't have any problems, didn't hang up, magazine came out nice and clean. So definitely positioning is going to be critical on this.
So we've had an opportunity to test this out a little bit, the belt slider from Sticky. I actually really liked it. I thought it was super comfortable. I was actually surprised because I didn't think I would like it as much as I did. Now, I know that you had a couple issues on it because we put our belts on differently, okay? So I put mine around this way and you put yours around that way. So the flap on mine, it stops it. The Velcro on mine stops it. So what were the issues you had?
Well, first, I mean, yeah, I didn't think this little piece of material was going to be comfortable at all, but man, blew me away. Like you, super comfortable. The only issue that I had is I didn't have it locked around a belt loop. So when I went to draw a magazine, the entire thing came with it until it hit a stopping point, and the magazine came out cleanly at that point. I went back, readjusted, moved it back to a point where it was already set at a choke point where the magazine come out, and it came out nice and clean and smooth.
So as for quickness and comfort, did it pass our test?
Comfort, absolutely. As far as the quickness goes, you kind of lose a little bit of your versatility because you have to have it in a particular point, otherwise it's going to slide around.
So for me though, I actually had it, kind of squared away exactly where I wanted. I thought comfort, a 10 out of 10. Quickness, I would probably say, to my ability, hell, I would have given it an 8 out of 10 because it was easy for me to go ahead and pull out. I didn't have any issues.
Right. Comfort, definitely going with the 10. The ease and the quickness on this, I'm going to go with the 7.
But for $9.95, I think it's a great value for 2 of them.
Absolutely, you can't beat it.
So let's take a little bit of time now and test out our second option, okay? This is from NeoMag. We're going to do the same test and check out quickness and comfort on it also. So now we're going to test out the NeoMag, all right? This is what I currently use every day. It's kind of like a little knife clip on there with a magnet on the inside. Now, it's a little hard to install sometimes, but once it's in there, it's definitely going to stay in there. So obviously, bullets face down. You can do whatever way you like, facing forward, facing in reverse. Just click it on there, go down, fit it in your pocket, and you are ready to go. It's pretty easy to use and set up. All right, guys, same setup as last time. I have the NeoMag in my left pocket. Obviously bullets facing down, but also facing the rear, all right? So I like to have a little bit of my magazine sticking up so my hands can actually grab onto it. As for comfort, it's definitely in there. I don't really notice it a lot. So we're gonna test this out a little bit and see how it goes.
Okay, so there's one issue. When I pulled the magazine out, I don't know if you could see it on film or not, but the mag holder came with it. But it was easy to get off there, a simple flick, it came right off. I don't know if I didn't have it seated properly or maybe it's just a little bit loose. I'm gonna check it, see if there's anything wrong with it, and try it again. Okay, on that first test, when I pulled my magazine out to reload, the clip came with it. I easily flipped it off there and was able to complete my reload, but I wanted to check the NeoMag holder and see if it was an issue with that or if maybe I just yanked too hard. So it seemed like the clip tension was a little loose on it, so I pressed it down a little bit. It's a little tighter in my pocket, so I want to try it again. So here we go. Get to come out.
So Don, with the NeoMag, I noticed you had a couple issues, okay? Now, so that's something that I don't have, necessarily when I carry mine every day. So tell us a little bit about those issues.
Okay, well, first, I don't want to blame this necessarily on NeoMag. I know you have one. I have one that I've been carrying for, about 3 weeks now.
Sure.
And I've not had this issue. So, and you probably can't see this, but the way the spring tension is here, it just feels a little loose. I don't know if maybe someone got a hold of this and they just pried up on it or something. I think that's probably the issue.
What about our two criteria, when it comes to quickness and comfort? What do you think about that?
Well, the way the NeoMag hangs in my pocket, it's kind of like a drop leg holster. So my hand is already at that level. My hand's already there. I don't have to raise my hand. I don't have to get up under a shirt, get tangled. To me, the speed is definitely there. Now, as everything we do in the firearms industry, muscle memory and repetition are critical. So anytime you go to a new mag carrier or a new holster or anything, you need to practice and get your muscle memory down so you can draw it quickly.
Sure.
I think once that's done, this is going to be very, very fast.
So So as for the Neomag with me, now when it comes to comfort, I think it's about as comfortable as anything I've ever worn. But as for quickness, now there's a little bit of fumbling around if you don't do that training. You know, you get your muscle memory down. Right. So if you reach too far into your pocket, or if you don't grab all the way in, that can be an issue. Yep. So when it comes to quickness, it's one of those things like you give it an 8 out of 10 or a 7 out of 10 because it's something that you can't just pick up and instantly have it down and have it correct. So.
Right. So coming down to the sticky belt slide and the Neomag, what are your options?
So I like both of them a lot, okay? I was actually surprised with the sticky product to see how comfortable it was and how easy it was to use. Now, as for the Neomag, all right, it's something I currently use, and that's something I'll probably continue using also. So would you recommend both these products yourself to other overweight operators?
I absolutely recommend both of them, and here's the way I would break this down. If you are an overweight operator that is going to spend time training and developing some muscle memory, the Neomag's the way to go. If you want something that's super comfortable, you just want to throw on your belt, but you don't want to spend a bunch of time at the home or the range working on practice and drawing, then I think the sticky is absolutely the way to go.
And it's pretty affordable, the sticky brand. I mean, for $9.95 you get 2 of those things. I think
absolutely.
That's pretty affordable.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it's kind of hard.
So guys, if you have other ideas you want us to talk about here on the Overweight Operator series, please let us know and comment those down below. Top Guns and the Overweight Operators would like to thank Advantage Holsters, Sticky Holsters, Neomag, G-Code, HK, and Blue Alpha Gear for their support on this video. And a big thank you to Federal Ammunition for their sponsorship with all the ammunition used in this video series.